What's going on, everyone? This is another episode of Sportsstatus. This your host, Nathaniel McWhort. As of last week, I talked some basketball. Did a little bit of my predictions of what I think is going to go down as each series went by. I'll give you guys a little bit of update on that tonight, how I think teams are going and stuff like that. I'm going to do the same thing in hockey. I'll cover a little bit, do like a post game kind of. It's more like a post-season series, but still kind of like a post game to what's been going on in hockey world. Also, I've got a little bit of NFL and golf to be talking about. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into the to the golf. We hit another milestone not too long ago in the golf world. So Phil Mickelson, who is 50 years old, he actually became the oldest person to ever win a golf major. The previous record was Julius Burrows at 48 years old and old Tom Morris at 46 years old. So now, to be honest, congratulations. First off, congratulations to him. He did a fantastic, outstanding job. And second off, that's really really all I have to say about that. Outside of he's gonna have another golf match coming up. It's more like a 2-on-2. Phil Mickelson again and Tom Brady against Aaron Rodgers against some other golfer. I'm blanking on. I'll tell you who it is in just a little bit, as I'm blanking on his name. However, winning a golf major at that age is probably hard to do. Tiger Woods has not set that record. I don't even think he is 46 at that point. So Tiger Woods is currently 45. So he's actually pretty close. He's 45 years old. 5 more years. If he wins a golf tournament in 5 more years, again, that is impressive. He would tie Phil Mickelson's record. But shout out to him for winning a golf tournament at that age. Dilly Lama said, "What up?" So again, talking about some other, going to kind of a little bit of a transition into some NFL. Aaron Rodgers, there's more going on with him. His scenario is there's more going on. I still think he is going to go with Denver. However, I'm not going to lie though. there was something that went viral that I think that the media itself is a little bit overreacting. He missed day one. He missed day one of voluntary OTAs, which that's voluntary, so he did not have to go. It wasn't. He completely had the option. He went on a vacation with a couple of friends. That's really not something that I think that was honestly no reaction. But talking about that golf tournament, there were some people that were. Tom Brady was just dropping memes about him, and he said two champions with the Jeopardy host and the scientist, stuff like that. He was dropping memes, and that was kind of funny. Kind of funny to talk about. Kind of funny to see. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Julio Jones. He went on Fox Sports. He went on Fox Sports the other day, and he said he went on Undisputed, not realizing. I don't know how you do not realize that they are not live. I mean, that they are live, excuse me. That's their show when they go on. But he went on this Undisputed. They called him during the show and asked him, hey, and he was wearing a Cowboys shirt at the time. So Shannon Sharp asked him hey Julio, I know you're wearing a Cowboys shirt over here. Are you going to Dallas? Or are you staying with Atlanta? Or where do you think you're going to land? Stuff like that. And he's all, oh, I'm out of here. And I want to win, so Dallas is not the answer. He was wearing a Cowboys shirt at that time, but he said Dallas is not the answer. So, first off, I have a lot of things to say about that. Because, one, Undisputed is a very popular show. So, how in the world do you think that Undisputed, how would you not know that you're going live on that air, on the show, and talk the way you did? Now, I'm not going to show that video up on here, but how would so reading a couple of comments real quick. Name would be cooler if it was Sportsstatus. Change it ASAP. I want to see the video. So I think that, first off, why in the world would you go out and not know they were live? Also, why, even if he did know, even if the phone call was going on, why would he wear a Dallas Cowboys shirt and not say that he doesn't want to go to Dallas? Because that, I get it. I get it. Dallas has not been successful in the past 25 years. But I think that it's kind of weird that you wore a Cowboys shirt on live television and said that you're not going to the Cowboys either. I'm saying that as I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan. But I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm a fan of the Denver Broncos. However, I I live in the area, know a little bit more, as I've said this a couple of times. I think that going I think that was kind of weird how it was pointed out. Now to talk about other possible destinations. I can see Baltimore. That's been a popular one to talk about. I also see the Colts. Carson Wentz out there at quarterback. They need some. They have a really good offensive line. Now I get it. Julio Jones is a little older, but again, like I said, they have a great offensive line. Now to throw some stats out there, Carson Wentz is the only quarterback to ever do this. He is the only quarterback to throw for over 4,000 passing yards and not have a receiver catch for 300. Also, the previous quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, Philip Rivers, he was sacked 19 times last year, and he is not a mobile quarterback. We do have some comments. Thank you for the advice, Dilly Lama. And then, LeBron says he's all Ohio, but now he owns the Red Sox while a Yankee fan, so it must be okay because LeBron is right all the time. Yeah, I'm not gonna play the video because I don't have it. But I think Colts is gonna be a great destination. Now another one that I just was before it went on, when the shout out to another podcast over on the All Sports All Plays Network, the Rick, not the Rick T podcast, but I'm blanking on Eric Holmes. If you're out there watching, what's the show that you just did not too long ago? He said Tennessee Titans. Now, I think Tennessee Titans would not be a bad answer either. Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. Now, Tannehill, not the best quarterback out there in the world, but he does have a great quarterback rating. So, I think Manning's retired. Both Mannings are retired. Anyway, so I think that if okay, so to talk about, hold on, I just lost. Oh, the Titans. Ryan Tannehill has a really great quarterback rating. Go with the Colts. The Colts have a really good, not Colts. The Titans have a good running back in Derrick Henry. So I think Titans would be a great answer too. Now, defense is where Tennessee is lacking. They do need help on that defensive side. That's definitely something that they need to address. But Jones over there with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, that's going to be a great quarterback, wide receiver, running back combo. So let's move in, and I'm going to touch a little bit on hockey. Cover some matches. I just did a pregame show. Last episode of Sports Status was a pregame show. Pre-series talking about what I think is going to happen for both NBA and NHL. I started off with NBA, then moved on to NHL. I'm going to do a little bit different today. Talk a little bit about some of the series closers. Penguins, they just lost today, 5-3. 5-3. Islanders win 4-2. So Islanders move on and they go up and compete against the Boston Bruins, who Boston won in a 4-1 series matchup against the Capitals. Avalanche also is moving on. They had a sweep against the St. Louis Blues. And now Maple Leafs, the Jets up in the North Division also had a sweep against the Oilers. Oilers will play the winner of the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. At this point, we're looking at it being a Maple Leafs Winnipeg series in round 2, but we still have one more game left, so I'm not going to exactly give my prediction on that. I do, however, think that the Oilers will, not the Oilers, the Maple Leafs will close out and win that game 5. So now, with the Jets, I think with the Jets and Oilers just needs, they need help. I mean, they couldn't get past the first round. They do have one of the best scorers in the league, but they need help somewhere else. And they do have one of the best scorers in Connor McDavid, but they need help everywhere else, pretty much. The St. Louis Blues. Now, an interesting stat against Blues versus the Colorado Avalanche. In known history between the Blues and Avalanche, Blues have only won one playoff game against the Colorado Avalanche, which Colorado. So knowing that Colorado will probably win, Colorado winning this series was not a surprise. It was not a surprise. I think Colorado will probably face off Vegas Golden Knights, which they go off and they're playing against the Minnesota Wild right now. It's period 2, and it is almost period 3 is about to start. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay Lightning just finished, so their series Lightning will go off and play the winner of Carolina Hurricanes and Nashville Predators. And so I think that Carolina will probably. I think Carolina is who I have going all the way. Well, not winning it all the way. I think Vegas is going to win it. And to answer question, my favorite position in hockey is goalie because I think it's the most important position in hockey. Um, I think I think goalie is also the most underrated position as well. I do think, in order, I would probably say um, I would probably say goalie, then defender, then scorer. Because yeah, you do need to score points to win, but um, I yeah, because you need to score points to win, but you also need um, defense to prevent points from being scored, shots on goal from being made, because everybody's human. Not all goalies. I mean, yeah, eventually in some games you will have a complete shutout like today. Lightning won 4-0. However, I don't think that I don't think with the Lightning going, they'll go off against the Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, Carolina Hurricanes, Nashville Predators, like I talked about. However, I think the Lightning goalie is the most important position, so therefore it's my favorite position. So I'll go in. Last topic of the night, then I'll go ahead and close this out. Last topic of the night is NBA. Boston Celtics, they need help. Jaylen Brown's hurt. Jaylen Brown's out, so it's just Jason Tatum, and that's pretty much it. So Jason Tatum is the only scorer on that team, with Jaylen Brown being gone. So they need, I think this offseason, they need to get a third guy. They need a third and fourth player to help, maybe not a big man, but a bigger dude to complement that offense a little bit. The reality is, I think there will be some games where the Nets keep it close, but that's just the Nets being nice. I think it's going to be a sweep. Realistically, I think that the Nets will destroy what can destroy them in all 4 games. So another sweep that I see happening, 76ers against the Wizards. 76ers have really great firepower. But, I mean, shout out to Russell Westbrook, who has made it in the playoffs every single year, pretty much every single year of his career. Bradley Beal is another big piece on that team. Who did really well this season. But, again, it's just Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, and that's pretty much about it. 76ers are probably going to win this game. Win this series. Again, it was going to be a sweep. But I do think that the Wizards, I thought that the Wizards were going to win game 1. I'm wrong on that. But I'm wrong on that, but so I think it's going to be a complete sweep. Now I'll go to the third series that some people were talking about it being a sweep, but I don't think so. The The Clippers are just a mess. They have been a mess every single year. 2-0. They're losing 2-0 against the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas has won game 2, 127-121. And even though I still see it going to 7 games, realistically, if Dallas wins game 3, which calling that at now, I don't think it's going to happen. I still have Dallas winning the series, but I don't think they're going to win game 3. But if Dallas wins game 3, they're not getting past 5 games. Clippers are not going to take this to 6. They might take this to 5 and win 1, but they're not taking this to 6. If Dallas loses game 3, I see it being 7 games, and I originally have, compared to last week's episode. However, I will change my prediction if Dallas loses game 3. Lakers and Suns series are tied at 1-1. And last week when I made my predictions, I said that the Suns are going to win this series in 7. It's going to last 7 games. It's going to be a heated rivalry. Game 1, towards the end, was competitive, heated rivalry. Game 2, Lakers had a better performance. But if Game 1 proved anything, it means that Father Time is coming for the Lakers. So I'm going with a team that is younger. Yeah, they do have CP3, who is, yes, younger than LeBron, but only younger by 3 to 4 years. But they have Devin Booker, who is a star, who's a big scorer on that team. Suns with CP3 is a good veteran leader. Does provide that veteran leadership presence. I think that the Lakers are going to take this to 7 games, but I don't see them making it past round 1. Talk a little bit about the Grizzlies. Now, my prediction about tonight so far, as I mentioned in a podcast comment, now, as I mentioned in a podcast comment, that the Grizzlies are probably going to lose tonight. Win tonight, but the Jazz are going to take this to 7. And he says, you can't change predictions. You're not hearing what I said. I said, I think after going past that game, I thought they were going to lose that specific game, but they didn't. They won. I'm assuming you're talking about 76ers and Wizards. 76ers won game 1, and I thought they were going to lose. But I knew that they were going – but I didn't think that the 76ers are going to lose this series. I just think that the 76ers were going to lose game 1. But that didn't happen. So the number of games, yes, that changed. But my prediction – but that was only because my prediction on game 1 was wrong. You were talking about the Mavs, bro. That one, again, that was another one where my prediction about a certain game did not go as if game 3 does not go as planned. I don't see the Clippers end up pulling like the Nuggets did last year. We're pulling that 3-1 lead. Anyway, let's move on. So Milwaukee versus Miami. This one I am not changing my prediction. I am still going Milwaukee in 7. Against Miami. I am still going with that. I am sticking to that. Yes, I was wrong about the first 2, but I still see it going either way. Now, any of these series, I see going any way, except for Brooklyn versus Boston. Even the 76ers and Wizards, a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And yeah, I see your comment. No, I am not a Mavs fan. I am not a Dallas Mavericks fan. I live in the Dallas and Fort Worth area, but no, I'm not a Dallas Mavericks fan. I will talk about my favorite team in a second because they did make the playoffs. Like I said before, I see any of these games going either way. 2 more series to talk about, then I'm going to close this off. Hawks and Knicks. That was one that I see it being a tough series. I see it again going in 7. And I'm still sticking with my prediction about the Knicks. I think they're going to win it in 7 games. And it has been a tough series. Game 1, Hawks won, but Hawks won by a couple of points off the last second field goal and a last second shot. And then Knicks won tonight. It was a little bit more of a dominance, but it still was a close competitive game. Hawks led it mostly in the first half. Trae Young was the leading scorer for the Hawks in this game. While for the Knicks, it was Derrick Rose scoring 26 points, and the Hawks were scoring 30. Now to talk about my favorite team, which is the Denver Nuggets. I'm a Nuggets fan. I've always been a Denver Nuggets fan. And I get it that they have a 1-1 split. I won't be surprised if the Nuggets pull this off, like I keep saying. However, I don't think they will. Portland's going to win this in 6. Jamal Murray's hurt. Portland has more depth in their backcourt. Denver, Michael Porter Jr. needs to step up. Michael Porter Jr. needs to step up. A lot of these guys need to step up. It can't be just Nikola Jokic on its own. Now, game 1, yes, there were 4 guys on that Nuggets roster that scored double-digit points. But even though there were 4 guys that scored double-digit points on the Nuggets roster, Portland had 6 guys that scored double-digit points on that roster. So then I'm gonna go the last. I think Portland's going to win this in 6. I think the Nuggets are going to win one more game. Probably game 3 or game 4. But I think Portland has the rest. Now I think Portland is a decent team. But the one thing that Portland has been struggling on for years and years and years to come, years in the past, was injuries. Last year, they won game 1 in the first round against the Lakers. But they got swept. They got swept by the rest. The rest of the series. Now, granted, the Houston Rockets did the same thing. But you would be talking about a different outcome, maybe a different seeding for the Portland Trailblazers, if they didn't have to deal with injuries all year long. So that's all I had. You can go ahead and check out all the great content from the Sportsstatus podcast. And no, I am not. Where did he say that? No, I'm not a. No, I'm not the guy that's in charge of the. No, well, so I'm the production advisor of this network, but I'm not the CEO of the network. So the last that's what I had to. So that is all I had. You can find more content at the All Sports All Plays Network Facebook page. You can find it also on the Sportsstatus Facebook page. YouTube, All Sports All Plays YouTube channel. Twitch, Twitter. Like the show. Comment the show. Share the show. Be engaged in the show. Also, if you have any questions, do exactly what Dillialama said is doing right now, and comment like I said before. But also, you can email me at sportsstatuspodcast@gmail.com, and I'm about to comment that again. I'm about to leave that in the comment section. Sportsstatus podcast at Gmail. Sorry, I'm a slow typer. Gmail.com. If you have any questions, and that's all I have. And see you guys on Saturday.